Hello everyone. Before we start today's lesson, look at this picture carefully. What do you think is happening here? Yes, the children are playing tug of war. Each team is pulling the rope as hard as they can. Now tell me, what makes the rope move toward one side? Exactly, it's force. We use forces all the time. When you push a door, pull a chair, kick a football, or even write with your pencils, you are applying a force. So today we are going to explore this exciting topic, forces, the push and pull that make things move. By the end of today's lessons, you should be able to explain what a force is, identify its types, and understand how forces affect the world around us and how to measure it. Ready? Let's start. Okay, listener, listen carefully. Let's do a small action. When you push or pull your chair, or when you pull a door, what are you doing? Yes, you're using a force. Force Force can change the shape of an object or its speed and direction. Can anyone give me another example where you push or pull something at home? So, what we learn, a force is simply a push or pull. It can change the direction of an object, like pressing play, change the speed, make something move faster or slower, change the direction of motion, like when you hit a ball sideways. For example, when you play the tennis, when the ball hit the ground, it changes directions and speed. You cannot see force directly, but you can see its effect. Can anyone give me an example of a force you experienced today? Now let's understand how we can show a force on an object. We use arrows to represent forces. The arrow shows the direction in which the force is acting. The length of the force shows the size or strength of the force. So a longer arrow means a stronger force and a shorter arrow means a weaker force. Look at the football in the picture. When the boy kick it gently, the arrow is short. But on the other side, when a boy kick it harder, the arrows become longer, showing a stronger force. This is how we can usually understand how big or small a force is and in which direction it acts. Let's learn about the different types of force. Forces are around us all the time, but they can be grouped into two main types, contact forces and non contact forces. Contact forces need two objects to touch each other to work. This include push, like when you move a box, pull, like open a door, friction, which shows things down when they rub together, like a shoes on the ground, muscular force, when we lift something heavy, and non contact forces can act when objects are not touching. This includes gravity, when pull an apple down from a tree, magnetic force, which attract or repel magnet without touching, electrostatic force, like when a balloon stick to your hairs after rubbing. So, contact forces work together through touch, while non contact forces can act at a distance. So now you have seen many types of forces, but today we will learn the three main ones. So let's take first one, gravitational force. First is gravitational force. This is the force that pulls everything toward the earth. Let's try this. Hold the ball in the air and let it go. What happened? Yes, it fell down. Why? Because of gravity. Gravity gave us weight. That's why we don't float around like astronaut. So remember, gravity always pull things downward. Can you think of another example of gravity in your daily life? Now let's see the electrostatic force. This happens when objects are charged. Have you ever rubbed a plastic comb on your hair or then tried to pick up small bits of paper? What happens? The papers jump and stick to the comb. That's because of static electricity. The comb got charged and attracted the papers. So electrostatic force object attract or repel each other when they are charged. Next is magnetic force. Magnets can attract materials like iron, nickel, and steel. Look at this picture. Iron fillings are sticking to a magnet. Do you notice something interesting? The magnet doesn't even need to touch them. The force works from a distance. Now tell me, where do you see magnets in our daily life? Yes, in fridge, door, speaker, and even in toys. Now we come on measurement of force. You can measure the size of a force. A device for measuring force is called force meter, such as a spring balance. Force can be measured in unit called Newton. Let's quickly revise what we learned today. A force is a push or a pull. It can change the shape, speed, or direction of an object. We use arrow to represent force, and types of force include gravitational, electrostatic, and magnetic force. Before we finish, let me test your understanding with some quick questions. What is force? Give me one example of gravitational, electrostatic, and magnetic force, and draw a arrow of force for a ball being kicked. In our next lesson, we will learn about forces on moving object. We will learn about frictions, air resistance, and upthrust, the force that act when object moves or float. So be ready with your notebooks and keep observing. Where do you see forces around you today? So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more science with my science diaries.